The amazing thing about our lives in general and our body and our health and our well-being is what goes on in our head influences what happens in the rest of our body. So we need to take care of our brain. And by that, I mean we need to sort of have a healthy mindset, because that will help. And one of the easy things that will help us with our mindset and the way our brain works and how well we feel because of that are things like taking time in nature. I absolutely love a stroll in woodlands or by the sea. And there's so much evidence out there that says green spaces and blue spaces are massively good for our well-being. And so, make time to be outside. I mean, at this time of year, in the autumn times of year, and when it comes to winter, we need to be getting more vitamin D. So being outside in the daytime is a good idea, but it really is good for our well-being. The Japanese talk about forest bathing, and there's been a huge amount of research around how green spaces, the smells, the sounds, just really help us feel better. And similarly, now there's a bulk of research around being in blue spaces, lakes, rivers, the sea, that have the same sort of effect. And there's different chemicals in the air as well. And I don't know how those affect us, but apparently they do. So that's an easy one, really, for all of us, if we can. It can be just a park. It can be, for me, I'm lucky. I live where I can walk 5 minutes from my house. I can be by a lake. I mean, how lucky am I? If I go 5 minutes in the other direction, I'm in the middle of the open countryside and woodland. So I'm really lucky. But I grew up in the middle of West Yorkshire, where that wasn't so straightforward. But there were parks, and I could also get out to lovely places with mountains and things like that and hills. So that's important. Exercise is key. Now, exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym. I do, but it doesn't have to be. It can be that walking in nature. One of the other things that's come up is that gardening is hugely good for us. So if you like gardening, getting out in your garden is good for your well-being and will help you during menopause and perimenopause. So it's really things that would be good for you in life are really good for you in menopause and perimenopause. Again, your diet, what you eat, makes a massive difference. You need to look at that balanced diet, that plate with half colourful vegetables, quarter protein, quarter carbohydrates. Take that as a very simple view. Lower your intake of refined foods, ultra processed foods and refined sugars. Be really careful about diet drinks because of the sugar replacements in there. They're poor for our health as well, and they will have much more of an impact during perimenopause because our metabolism changes and we can't manage those that well. But also look at your brain. Think about mindfulness. Think about identifying what you're about and who you are. Those sorts of things also matter too. There's a lot of evidence that says if we have a clear idea of what we're about, then little things that come in during our days don't affect us as much. And bearing in mind that during perimenopause, we might be getting hot flushes, we might be, suddenly forgetting stuff. We need to have if we have a clear purpose, that doesn't sideswipe us quite the same way. So think about those sorts of things too.